So everyone's always asking, how loud do you run it? How loud's too loud? How do you answer that question?
Well, too loud is just beyond loud enough. No. Volume has always been like the big question, like what's the magic number? And, I'm sure as most people, if there was a magic number, it'd be on the front of every Mix magazine and Live Sound magazine or whatever. Here's the magic number to run it at. Well, it's not there. And it's not there because it's all dependent. And it's all dependent upon so many factors. Who's your audience? Too loud for a funeral is too loud, going to be a lot sooner, a lot lower dB than too loud for a rock concert. And, too loud for, an audience full of 50-somethings is going to be different than an audience full of 20-somethings. And, I have definitely found recently, understanding our audience at the venue that I mix at the most, at the church that I work with, there's not a magic number, and a lot of it is dependent upon how aggressive the song actually is. And, we can have, a value be on the screen that, is our decibel meter or whatever, and it be less on one day and people complain, and it actually be bigger on another day and people just love it. And to me, I've found that volume is very dependent upon, the content at what you're listening at. If it's got a lot of banging cymbals and everybody's in unison, the piano player's banging and the guitars are banging and the acoustics are banging and everybody's yelling, I don't care if that's at 89 dB or 102, it's probably going to be loud. It's a loud song. Yet if you have another situation where musically it's all high fidelity and it sounds really clean and you can have the drums just popping right out and sounding really great. It could be at 96, 97 dB and people just love it. So there's no magic number. And I know, most sound guys want to sit out there with a Radio Shack dB meter and go, stop, we're there, and it just doesn't work like that. And I think we all know that. We want to be able to show the person that comes up to the booth or the soundboard and complains, hey, we're okay. But the reality is if somebody's complaining, that can be a good thing. Look at who's complaining. If it's not the audience that you're trying to reach that's complaining, then that could be like, sweet, we're doing exactly what we need to do, and those are the things that you have to be aware of. And I always tell my guys that we want it to be engaging. We don't want it to be so loud that people are distracted, especially in worship music. And we want people to be inspired by how good it is, and we want people to be engaged. And I don't want them to at any moment disconnect from their Heavenly Father and go, wait, it's too loud, or I don't hear that, or anything, any distraction, whether it's volume or, a mic falling over on stage. I mean, anything can distract them from doing, from focusing on worship. And I think those are all important things. And volume is, there's no answer to that question. But it's different in every scenario, and it's no magic number. I know that I've had very comfortable mixes that sound great and people love it and say it was literally 92, 93 dB at front of house in the venue that I normally mix in. And I feel really, like, even as an engineer, not feel like, I wish I could unleash this thing. I've had really good mixes, at lower volumes. And I've had really good mixes at 102 as well. And I feel like in both cases, both of those scenarios were at the right volume.